And then back to the whole point, and this is just the science, is like we talked about, and we talked in a previous podcast, that reading the book, The Essential Difference, that men are predicated in general, are into things, and women are into people. So that means you, as a woman, are going to value relationships, and you get into jobs where you have to be around people. Think about it. The most masculine jobs are electrician, truck drivers, plumbers, mechanics. These are all jobs that are actually back to solidarity in their objects and deal with things. It has nothing to do with people. You know, and you look at percentage-wise, these are high 95% plus jobs that are just male dominant.
Yes.
And you look at the woman jobs that women dominated are at a 90% rate. These are all dealing with people. Teaching, school teachers, guidance counselors, nurses. These are all jobs that have to deal with what? It shows even at the highest level that when you're in a free country and you as a woman has a choice to pick a job that's not forced, you still show that you naturally pick the female jobs and the male still naturally pick the male job. Even though we go to school and no one's forcing us to do anything, and yet we still pick the jobs based on biological differences.
Yes. In the most egalitarian societies. Yeah.
Yes, that's science. The males still do the male jobs and the women still do the male jobs. When you go outside and see a group of construction workers, do you see a group of women or do you see a group of men? You see a bunch of guys out there paving roads. I mean, people paving roads. You see a group of women or a group of men. Yeah, the men are doing the jobs, dealing with the things, the objects, the machinery, and the women typically, and in general, deal with jobs that deal with people.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you can't change that. You know, and sometimes you got to remind women that a lot of things are happening that maybe you're just not aware to, and you just don't pay attention to because it's just happening. It's just happening around you. And you don't actually see that fact that there's a lot of jobs that you would never do. And maybe you would never even want to do for a long 20, 30 years and work with a waste management plant or warehouse or a chemical plant that usually men work in these jobs that a woman would not want to do for 20, 30 years.
Yeah. No, exactly.
You know, that's fair to say, but you don't see men complaining about jobs women do that men just realize we would never be able to do. You don't see men complaining about why there's no men representation in a daycare, why we don't run a daycare, or why is most of the you go to a hospital, it's mostly female nurses, or why most school teachers are women. I mean, we don't complain about the jobs that women dominate and that they have a lion's share in. We just go, okay, that's just what women do, and we really don't want no parts of it because we would probably struggle in those jobs. Let's keep it real. We don't have the attention to detail to run a daycare with infants and toddlers. That's one thing that we know as men, no matter how conscientious we are, most men like, I can't really deal with a young child for 24/7 care.
Right.
But you guys do it instinctively.
Right. Well,
Just like we have the instinct to be able to mechanically fix things.
Without even reading instructions.
Without even reading instructions, like, oh, you know what? Let me just put that together. But again, these are the things that happen that doesn't have a price tag on it. And that's what I was saying about women looking at the jobs that men make in the high six figure. There's other things men do that don't have a price tag on it. Like if we're in public, if we see some danger happen, women expect men around them to help.
Yeah. And we run towards
We don't expect women to help us though, but you don't expect a woman to help you if you're in danger. A stranger woman. I'm talking about stranger. Yeah. A man will help a woman that's in distress that's a stranger to him. Naturally, but not expect that in return from a woman to help him if he was in an altercation and expect a woman to save him from that. And you as a woman wouldn't even want to get yourself because you would want to put yourself in danger. Yeah. And that's a masculine trait. So you want to be masculine and deal with that?
Yeah, I mean we're engaged in this behavior that is it's from an a priori understanding. Naturally, we understand all these commonalities that you said. In dangerous situations, men are jumping to it. We're staying on the ship, saying, "Listen, we're going to try to keep the ship up, but you guys get on the sailboats and you get out of here. You get on the small canoes. Women and children first. You get out of here."
100%.
And you know, when it comes to the children, I can't remember the movie, but they've made a few movies on it where, you know, the woman leaves for the day, and the guy is stuck home. I think one of the names of the movie is Big Daddy. And he's home all day with the kid, trying to take care of it, and he's just doing all this ridiculous stuff, and the kid is just getting the better half of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, she comes home and she just knows exactly what to do to put her to bed.
Multitasking.
Meanwhile, that day that we had dealing with the child is the most adventurous day that of the year, taking care of the child for a day, and they do it naturally, and we understand these things.
We
But
understand it.
but there again, there are these social pressures psychologically, it's in that are psychologically and cognitively being implemented in young women from an early age that are causing these disastrous um, uh, false planted ideas on how women should be that's really destroying their physical and mental health.